Okay, welcome to the 2K per day challenge here at the Future Fiction Academy, where every day a member of the Future Fiction Academy will jump on and show you how they get their 2,000 words per day using AI. My name is Stacey Anderson. I'm an instructor at the Future Fiction Academy, and today we are hopefully going to finish up my first short story in this anthology of superhero short stories slash novellas based around female side characters who do the real work behind the superheroes. So, if you'd like to learn about prompting methods, jump into our boot camps, or anything else you'd like to learn about AI or Rexy, you can join us at the Future Fiction Academy. The link's below, and we have a 7-day free trial where you can try it out and see how you like it. This will hopefully be a short video where I just finish up the short story, and then in the next one, I'll show you how it ends, how I edited it, and how I bring those threads from this story into the next one. So far we have the female protagonist for the next story showing up in this one, and I'm hoping, or at least by the time we're done, we will have the next villain set up for the next story. So we'll have Lisa and this new villain that carry on over into the next story. So again, it's more like a series of vignettes rather than individual stories just shoved inside of a book. I have my project. I have my elements. I have my B slots, which are my prompts. I have my Notion slots, which are all of the story information, both about the series, individual stories, and my story so far down here, which has the previous 4 chapters, which I will use as part of my prompt. My S slots, so we're going to move on today to Scene 5, Chapter 5. In my system message, I have all of the information about the series and this individual story. And then over here, I have my 9 sequence of prompts set up, which are basically just 4 commands and then some continues. And you can go look at the last video as to how and why I broke those all down. But the short answer is Gemini only seems to reliably write in 500 to 900 word increments. So my first prompt is to use all this information that I'm giving the AI, and I ask OpenAI, specifically GPT-4o, to make a plan for the next scene. I then ask it to write the next scene, but this time around I'm using Gemini for that. And then I have 2 more prompts that simply say continue and continue. Then my 5th prompt in this sequence simply says make a plan to revise this scene, and I give it some criteria to look at. Number 6 is using that criteria or using that plan, write the revised scene, continue, continue, continue. So with those 9 series of prompts, I have been getting closer to 2,500 to 2,800 words with Gemini, which is perfect. That's exactly what I want. So I have it set up to run these 9 prompts, starting in Insta 1. And the reason I know we're probably going to wrap up in this 5th scene is I have been giving it this plot structure. So each time I tell it to follow this plot structure, it's not an outline as in, here's what the antagonist does, here's what the protagonist should do, any of the side characters. It's just more of the emotions, the general outline of what I want to happen. So I want an immediate engagement, rising action, collaboration, climax, and finally resolution and foreshadowing. So we're wrapping up. So because I have this structure that I'm giving it, I know we're going to wrap up in this last scene 5. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So here's our writing instructions, setting character, 3rd person past tense from Dr. Sarah Lopez's point of view. Here's all the events. So we're going to close out the immediate threat, but hint at future challenges and subtle foreshadowing of the next story. So that's perfect. And if it doesn't do it exactly the way I want, I can either rewrite it myself or I have some ideas on how I could use the new Claude 5 to make those edits that I want. Get down here to where it's writing the story. So I said earlier that I like Gemini because for humor, for like that dry wit, it seems to do it. Again, right now, and this is a personal preference, but I like the way Gemini does that better, even though the new 3.5 is just dropped. But Claude models and the new 3.5, Sonnet in particular, is very good at maintaining style. So I can ask it to go in and edit, make some changes, and it will keep that writing style that was already set up with Gemini. So that might be what my next step is if there's any significant edits. And again, I won't know that until the end of this chapter. So step 2 was to actually start writing, and you can see it ended on, "Whoa, easy there, big fella." The third prompt asks it to continue, so it does. It seems to be 50-50 whether it will just pick up exactly with the next word, "Whoa, big fella," Captain Quantum said, or if it goes back to the beginning of the sentence or the beginning of the paragraph to kind of reiterate it or start a little cleaner. So this time it went back to, "Whoa, easy there, big fella," Captain Quantum said. And again, at the end of the second writing prompt, it needed to continue again, letting it clatter to the floor with a metallic clang, calculated risk. So this time, it's continued writing right mid-sentence with a metallic clang, comma, a calculated risk that sent a shiver of apprehension down her spine. And this time it does seem to be writing even longer, so it didn't finish out. But that's fine. With the revision, it will see that as a deficiency. Hey, it didn't have a complete and perfect ending, so it will ask it to do that, and we can add in more continues if we need at the end, and that'll just give us more material if the scene is too long. Like I said, with 4 continues, it was getting close to 3,000 words. If it's too long of a chapter, it does give me some room to either cut more out or to break it into 2 chapters if I needed to. So here is my revision plan, and it's telling it needs to create a conclusion. Created a sample revision. Oh, there, ChatGPT 4.0. It actually might have. Oh, it ended. So let's go to our auto write and see, but it looks like ChatGPT might have even given it a sample ending. So let's see what it did. So we come back to our auto write page, which is simply where Rexy auto writes all this information. And I came to the combine page that has all 9 prompts here. So I'm going to scroll down. Here's the sample revision. Nope, it just gave some more sample dialogue, I guess. So here's the revised scene. Let's cut this out so we can look at this in... Oh, so, yep, this is a problem. It did not finish, even with all 3 continues. So let's go ahead and just copy what it did give us. Kind of Chapter 5, Sarah Evans. So we're going to paste it here, and you can see at the end, they were a force to be reckoned with. Actually, it looks like it's right at the end, as she turned to follow Lisa out of the wrecked lab into the chaos of the world forever. So, okay, it did end. It just was a sentence or 2 short of wrapping up all its Claudisms. But at this point, I am at the end of the story, so I am going to go through my full developmental edit, so I won't even worry about that right now. But I have 3,107 words for this scene, so not only is that my 2K for the day, it is, half of tomorrow's. But let's look at a summary real quick of what happened. In the aftermath of a catastrophic event in their lab, Sarah and her team encounter a mysterious creature connected to the Singularity Engine. With a combination of scientific curiosity and empathy, they manage to establish a connection with the creature and stabilize the energy output of the engine. As they contemplate their next steps, they realize they have become a formidable force ready to face whatever challenges come their way, which again is a Claudism. but it is the end of this short story, or this novella at this point almost. So I will, again, leave that and I'll go through a full read through, and then I may decide to just edit it by hand, in which case we'll come back for the next video and take a look at story 2 and how we're gonna pull some of these plot threads into it. Or if I have significant enough edits, I'll show you my editing process if I'm going to use Claude or one of the other AIs. So, again, thank you for joining me today while I got my 2+ K words for the day, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy writing!